right now. Need crew love right now, cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Ito Smith, his first carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Hot! Over! Hot!
On second down, Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returnable for Lockett. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Looking to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot! Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Hot!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Tyler Lockett was the target there. 3rd down here.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change up momentum?
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Gun! Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Going up top. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Detroit!
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket. And it results in a sack. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. Now it's Lockett. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that 1st.
He's got daylight. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead grows to 10-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A first down carry for Smith. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
Rosen will throw. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Smith trying to run for it. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Didn't get the push they needed. He's going to get it running right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
3rd and goal, Rosen. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He's going to air one out. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position. So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. A very solid gain of 27. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. A quick hitter complete. It's Anderson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A minute 59 to go in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go now.
Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Back to Philly. Here we go. Gone.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get... the football at the 23-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep over, and that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Detroit!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. To throw again. Steele. Just keeping the play alive. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Hot!
From the gun, Steele. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, Steele steps away to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Gun! 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 Hot! Let's go!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Steele. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Amara Darboh, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Over! Gun! 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 Gun!
Operating from the gun. Steele. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
A final shot before break. Steele. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Anderson. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On first and 10, Steele out to his left, toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing again, Steele. And that's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to take the lead.
And that third counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without them, they're not winning this game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Shaq Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Gone!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone, and that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And out now come the Vikings. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Try to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Looking to throw. Steele. He's got his man on the crossing route. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 78 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete here.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. That's caught right side by Anderson. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think he'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Shaq Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play net. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Oh, shifty. Whoa. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Throwing to start the drive. Steele. And his pass incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Hey, got three.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Steele. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Steele. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Seahawks on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
They run once more with McKinnon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. Toss play to McKinnon. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Gun!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. Whoosh.
20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stage. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. You're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught inside the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Looking to throw. Steele. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Steele. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing on 3rd and long. Steele. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
Lucky 56.
From the gun, Steele. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And an alley to run. Tyler Lockett. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to let it fly. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.